Hey y'all, this is Theron West II, and this is the Be Ready anthem, y'all. I hope y'all ready. Stay ready, be ready, 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 stay ready. Every show, new face, new dream. Young man out here building a team from the track to the court to the turf and the ring. They all grown different, but they got the same theme. Putting in work when the lights not on. Late night, early morning, still going strong. They don't do it for the lights, they do it for the fight. Future looking bright, cause they training for their life. So be ready, stay ready, 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 be ready, stay ready. Spotlight on them, time to show love. Brother smart and dream, all star from above. The hustle in their heart, purpose in their feet, and they voice on this mic that echoes in the streets. Every episode, no cap, no fake. Just young bugs grinding, rising to the stage. Different faces, same goals. Rise above the pressure, yeah, holding goals. So be ready, stay ready, 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 be ready, stay ready. So put your hands together for my boys, Coach Tony and Carlos, for the Be Ready podcast coming on right now. Let's get it, let's go, y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, welcome back. Welcome back to episode 55, you guys. Today's today's show is very special because we're gonna do this a little bit different. As you guys know, Be Ready Sports Podcast, we put this together because we've seen a lot of elite athletes out there. Yeah, they're getting their exposure, they're going to these camps and everything, but nobody really knows much about them besides they play their sport. So me and Carlos talked about it, and we decided to put this together. To give these kids a voice, so you guys get to know them personally, and for them to get used to being interviewed and everything, to give them that exposure, and boom, and it's been taken off. Like we've just been as surprised as how quickly, like, we have guests booked up all the way to December, and this is August. Like, it's crazy. Not really crazy, poor choice of words, but it is beautiful to see, and and we love it. And our guests, they continuously do great things. So starting in October, we're gonna bring some of them back and give you guys updates on what they're been doing. So kudos and to all of our guests. I'm not gonna go run down to all 54 of them like I did that one time. It took like 20 minutes, and right now it'll probably take 30. And I'm not gonna do that to our guests today. But our guest today has a similar. We're on different paths. We do two different things, but we have this a similar mindset. Is like we saw an issue in youth sports, and instead of whining, complaining, and making social media posts about it, we did something about it to solve a problem. So you're going to learn a lot about my guest today and the problem that he solved. And I give you guys a hint to all you coaches and out there who has that issue with players not showing up in the last minute, and that frustrates the heck out of you. Me as a coach, that's why I have no hair on the top of my head, because these parents be driving me crazy with these last minute drop offs. Being sick, I can understand. Going on vacation and not telling me at the last minute is not okay. But my man Sean saw that problem and hadn't made a resolution. So um, the service that we're going to talk about today, and remember this name because this name is going to be synonymous with youth sports in not too long from now. I wouldn't even give it another year before before it expands and everybody knows this. But we're going to discuss the pickup portal with my man Sean, and he's going to give you a breakdown 100% of how it operates and everything, and the problem that he solved. So enough of my yapping, Carlos.
Hmm.
Introduce the goat of all goats, our guest today.
Today's guest is a representative from a company that helps teams when they are short of players in baseball. They help teams from all over the country, and today we will promote their business right here on the Be Ready Sports Podcast. So now, please welcome to the Be Ready Sports Podcast, Sean from the Pickup Portal.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all having me on.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, we forgot. You deserve one of these, Sean.
There we go. Now it's official.
Yeah, you deserve one of these. All right, Sean. Let's go ahead and break the ice and tell our guests a little bit about yourself before we go into in depth about your service.
Yeah, so again, thanks for having me on, guys. It's the first time doing one of these. I really appreciate you guys breaking me in easy on this. So for me, I'm a father of five. I got five kids, four boys and one beautiful princess. And all my kids played sports through school. It was kind of our one requirement. If you're going to go to school, which is obviously required, you need to be in some kind of after school activity. I didn't care if it was baseball, football, basketball, swimming, volleyball, collecting stamps and joining a club at school. I didn't care. But you were not going to come home after school every single day and do nothing. We needed you in the school, involved, making friends, and there's a lot of lessons to be learned through sports specifically. And that was just a rule. Every year, you're going to do something. I don't care what it is, but you got to do something. And I'm a baseball guy. I played through little league, through high school. Wasn't blessed to play after high school, but that's okay. But all my kids, all my sons anyway, they all played baseball through at least middle school, and then my youngest two sons are playing in high school. One just graduated 2 years ago, and then my youngest son's now a senior. And so we're a baseball family. We love baseball, eat, sleep, and breathe it. My wife didn't know she loved baseball until she married me, and then now she can't imagine herself without some Chinook seedery sunflower seeds in her car, and some a case of Gatorade and a cooler packed. Because we're just baseball people, man. We love it. Even when our own kids not playing, you can find us at a ballpark watching little league kids play. We just absolutely love baseball.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is amazing. That is amazing. And I also have a sports academy as well, and my treasurer is a 20-year baseball coach. So I want to give a shout out to my man, Mr. Adam Aneva, who you know that's my guy. But he's getting me. I didn't know anything about baseball until I met him. All I know is that um, I have more respect for it now because I realize how um, tough it is to,
Sure.
to play that sport, and I respect how these young 10 11 year olds have a fraction of the second to judge this ball that's coming at them at 65 miles an hour. um how they gonna get this past 11 guys on defense, and you out there by yourself. So
Yeah.
I told him, man, I have utmost respect and I got a lot of love for baseball players. So um so you guys, man, respect those athletes out there, because just because somebody play baseball doesn't mean they're not an elite athlete.
Yeah, if you're watching them on TV, those guys are the best of the best of the best. Just like football, right? Basketball. If you're paying money to go watch these guys play that sport, they deserve some respect for that because they put in the work.
and you
Yeah.
pay to watch them for a reason.
That's right.
Like, it's funny how the people that feel like they, on the outside looking in, always have the most to say.
That's right.
I don't get it. But
Yeah, if they're not the ones up at 5 a.m. every day, going to the gym, eating right, getting plenty of sleep, putting in the work, grinding it out day in and day out, but they're the ones who, like you said, talk the most.
right.
Yep.
So speaking of baseball, you're a baseball guy.
Yeah.
What is your number one franchise that you support out in the majors?
Yeah, it's got to be the Braves. Got to be the Bravos. We live about 2 hours north of Truist Park, and we are some Braves fans.
Awesome, awesome.
Okay.
So what's your favorite player on the Braves of all time?
Of all time, got to be Chipper Jones.
I knew you was gonna say
Chipper
Chip.
Jones is
I
the
knew it. I
dude.
knew it. I knew
I
it.
liked him when I was a kid. I used to collect baseball cards as a kid. I should have grabbed him. I've got his rookie card. I got his minor league cards. I'm a Chipper Jones guy. I love some Chipper Jones. And he's
And
a
so,
good dude. He's a good person. How can you not? How can you not like a guy?
oh yeah, he is. He's a legend, one of one. Um, so is he the one that inspired you to start playing baseball when you were younger?
No, actually, that'd have been my dad. Because he never played sport. Well, he played football through school, but he never played baseball. But he had the same rule that I passed on to my kids: is you're going to do something. You're going to be part of a team environment where you have to help other people. You got to rely on their help. And he said, you're going to play a sport. I don't care what it is. And just baseball. I've got two older brothers. One of them is a year and a half older than me. He played baseball too. So we were always out just in the yard, just throwing the ball, hitting the balls. The one thing that we could do and get along together with.
But you know what I'm gonna tell you, Sean. Um, you're right in line with all the guests that we've had on here because 99.9% of them all said the person that inspired them to get them started is their dads. So
Yep,
that shows how important. I'm gonna say it again. That shows how important you fathers are to these young men. To these young men.
absolutely, absolutely. Not to tarnish the moms out there, right? Because believe me, my pants would have never
No,
got all that dirt and clay out of it had it not been for my mom
oh
scrubbing
no.
them things, right? She was the one to make sure that we had snacks and drinks and all that stuff. But it was my dad out there in the yard at the field coaching and all that stuff for all those hours in the sun. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and definitely we never tarnishing the moms. Yeah, yeah. Disclaimer: don't send us no hate, no hate mail. Come on, what y'all over here talking bad about the mom? No, we're not talking about the bad of the mom. We just expressing how important um, the dads are to these young athletes. Moms always play their part.
That's right.
Um, they always moms. You get your love all the time.
Yeah.
You hardly ever hear the dads do though.
I coached travel ball for a couple years. My son was younger, and believe me, we wouldn't have been anywhere on time with drinks and clean uniforms if it wasn't for my wife making sure that both me and my son had what we needed to do.
Yes, sir. All
Oh
right.
yeah. Oh yeah. That is 100%. I've had parents who had multiple kids and they'd be like, "Hey, I've had parents that's, the two of them, hey, three of them hop in this car, the other half hop in mom's car after school. They're going to
Yeah.
two different parks. They're going to two different gyms and they're playing three different sports. So I know I know how it is. I've
Yeah,
done
like I
it
said,
so
we got
long.
5 kids, and they're all within a 5 year age span, and they all played sports throughout high school. Track, cross country, volleyball, football, baseball. We were always dividing and conquering. But it was my wife that said, "I need you with this one over there at that time, and then I'm going to take these ones and go over there." Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, that teamwork makes the dream work.
It does.
That teamwork makes the dream work. So, based on that, so that gave you the foundation to get your no, I know Carlos is going to do the Q&A. I'm just getting everything warmed up for him. He's looking at me like, Coach, I'm ready to start, man. Come on, dude.
Mhm.
But based on your experience, growing up playing the sport, um, so you saw the side as an athlete. Now you're
Yep.
blessed with seeing the other side as a parent. So so based on that, um, did based on both of those experiences, that's what guided you in the way to diving in and starting up your company pickup portal. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
it gave me an understanding of from a parent and coach aspect, having done it myself, understanding how the game is played, some of the needs there, some of the some of the good things and bad things to be careful about. Yeah.
Awesome. So Carlos,
All right.
I know we
Yeah.
I got this. Let's go ahead and I know you have some questions for my man Sean. Um, let's get it.
Yeah, let's go. All right, Sean. So first question. How did the idea of the pickup portal first come about?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I got a bunch of kids, right?
Yeah.
And fortunately for us, only my youngest son showed interest in playing travel ball, which is good for our bank account because travel ball is expensive.
Oh yeah.
I don't care what sport it is. If it's a club sport and it involves travel, it's expensive.
Yeah.
But he's played since he was like 10 years old. His best friend played when he started, like when he was 8. And anyway, they invited us to try out for the team that he was on at that time, and made the team. All that stuff was great. So he's been playing now he's gone 7 or 8 years now, that he's been playing travel ball, as well as school ball and little league and all that stuff too. Um, so around about his 15U year, he only plays baseball. He's not a dual sport athlete. He's tried other sports, just loves baseball. So he plays travel ball year round. Spring, summer season, then a fall season. And it was in the fall of his 15U year or so, 2 3 years ago, that half his team that he was on, and we're pretty loyal people, right? We sign up on a roster and we play for that team and we don't jump ship. Well, half those boys wanted to go play football, which is great. Like, we absolutely endorse and support kids who want to be multi-sport athletes. That's fantastic. My kid's just not one of them. And about half the kids wanted to go play football, so we were left without a team to play for. You can't. It takes 9 players to go field a team, and we were left with like 7, and that was a problem. And we weren't going to go try out and do a bunch of stuff to sign up with a team just for the fall season. So we talked to our son, and he's like, "I still want to play, but I don't want to leave the team. So how about we just see if I can pick up and be a guest player periodically?" So we did what everybody did. You hop on Facebook, you join all these Facebook groups. We live in Georgia, and there's probably 500 Facebook groups for travel baseball alone in the state of Georgia. Some of them are really big, they got 50, 60,000 people in them. Some of them are really small, it's just a couple parents at a local community. But there's a bunch of groups out there. And I joined probably 15 of the big ones that were in our general area. And we live in a really good spot in Georgia where we are 2 hours away from the two biggest ballparks that host the most and the best tournaments in the country. You got East Cobb and Lake Point, perfect game in PBR. And I thought, this isn't going to be a problem. I'm just going to go join all these groups, go put in there. I got a 15-year-old right-handed pitcher, outfielder. This is his batting average, all the things, right? And he's available this coming weekend. If you need him, reach out, let me know. And I did that week in, week out for the whole fall season. And inevitably, I only got contacted a couple times. And it's not because my kid's not good. My kid's a good ball player. But when social media, as you guys know, when you make a post somewhere, by the time that the coach who might need my kid for his game this coming weekend, by the time that they might see it, that post is so far down in the news feed, they're never going to see it unless they scroll forever, right?
Yeah.
So we got virtually no results back. And when we did, like, I had coaches reaching out to me saying, "Hey, I saw your 15-year-old pitcher's available. Can he come to Pittsburgh and play in a tournament? Can he come to Dallas and play in a tournament?" And I'm like, "Whoa, like, no, we're not going to go hop on a plane so he can go be a PO for a couple innings in one game at your tournament. Like, find a local guy to go do that for you." So it just never worked out. And so that was really discouraging for us. But I thought, man, I'm in all these groups. I see all these parents posting in there, "I got a player," or, "Coach, I need a player." I see it. And so we're not the only ones having this problem. Why? There's got to be a solution. Somebody out there has to have solved this thing. So I did what everybody did, right? I went on Google. I started looking for websites, services, and stuff, and there were none, zero. It did not exist. And I thought, that's crazy. That's insane because this isn't a new sport, right? Travel ball, club ball, as it is today, has been around for a decade or more, and but nobody's put the work in, the sweat equity, and honestly the financial equity to solve this problem. So my wife and I, we talked about it, we prayed about it, and we decided we're going to do something about it. So we hired a web developer and launched our website in April of last year. And it's been just beautiful since then, just growing like crazy. It's getting better and better. Every single month, we're setting records over the prior month. It's nuts.
Wow,
And
very nice story.
you want to hear something that's even more nuts?
What's that?
We started our platforms a year apart. So we started this podcast in April of this year.
Fantastic. Well, I look forward to hearing from you guys a year from today.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Sean. So was there a defining moment where you knew this could be like a real business?
Yeah, so it came in around October of last year. We were about, I don't know, 6 months into this journey that we started. And with all the feedback we got from parents and coaches on social media, people visiting our website, we get all the analytics of all the traffic that comes in. Where are they coming from? Is it a Google search? Is it a direct, somebody typing in our website? Are they finding us on social media? So we got all the analytics, and I thought, this is like, for having spent virtually no money on marketing and just our time on social media posting and commenting stuff, like this is it has the potential to be a real thing. And that was about 6 months into our journey. And yeah, it was good.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so okay, so did you have a background in sports before starting this business?
Yeah, so for me, I've been a lifelong baseball fan. And then that's my own journey, and then watching my kids go through theirs. Again, whether it's baseball, football, volleyball, track, cross country. Really, I mean, I've got my personal experience through baseball and through high school, but watching my kids go through it and having several kids go through it. Right, I've been through the little league system so many times with all my kids. Yeah, that's my experience there, coaching and parenting in baseball.
Okay, that's cool.
Awesome.
Okay, okay, so what were the biggest early challenges you faced?
Yeah, so for us, we created something brand new. Like, we literally started something no one's ever done before. And it's kind of like you don't know what you don't know. And we are still to this day educating parents and coaches that our service exists. That it's not just, some scam, somebody wants to get your data and sell it off to some third party, whatever. It's really creating the awareness that we exist, that we're real people, that we love this sport, we love kids, and we're trying to help.
Okay. All right, so have you ever had a player become a permanent team member, like of that team?
Not that I'm aware of. So our goal is not to manage conversations and interactions between parents and coaches. All we're trying to do is get those two people in the same room, like get them on the phone together. And we don't manage any of those conversations. So with our website, it's your parent has a player that's available, a coach needs that player, they can find each other very easily. It takes 2 minutes, and then they can work out the details. Has it happened? I don't know, to be honest with you. Maybe. That's kind of not really what our service is for. We're not trying to put permanent players on a roster.
Yeah.
It's really to help for short-term needs.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, so have you ever had a situation where a team calls in like last minute?
Yes, all the time. Whether they reach out to us directly through our email, our social media. Yes, all the time. Coaches, and that's truly what we're built for. If you find out on Thursday and your tournament's on Saturday that you're going to be down 3 or 4 players, and now all of a sudden you either don't have enough depth to actually compete, or you're shorthanded and you're just going to have to cancel. That's what our website is for: is the short-term, short-notice needs for extra players.
Okay,
So yes,
sure.
it happens all the time.
Okay, for sure. Okay, so last question: have you had a situation where a player doesn't show up for the team that's shorter players? Like,
Again, not that I know of. A lot of teams don't charge their pickup players to come and play for them because the team needs them. But there are some coaches who tell the parents, hey, we'll pick your kid up, we could use him, but we're going to charge you $5, $50, $500, whatever, because we need the parent to have some skin in the game to make sure that they show up. Those things happen. Again, we don't really manage those types of interactions or conversations. I've not heard directly that a parent said yes, we'll come, and then they wound up flaking out. I haven't heard that, but has it happened? If it hasn't yet, it will. But that's the nature of it, whether you use our website or the traditional social media.
All right.
All right,
Tony,
so
you got it.
really, Carlos, I got it. Oh my goodness! No, I'm just kidding. All right. So yeah. So when we received the correspondence from you, and I ain't gonna lie, I was like, "What the heck is this pickup portal stuff?" That's exactly what I said. Because we get hit, Sean. We get contacted so many times all day long with people want to offer us this, that, or want to be on the show, and we have to be selective of who we bring on because we can't just bring on anybody.
Yep.
You know, be so selective, and my man's is not trying to tell you business, but everybody already knows by now. He's a senior in high school. He doesn't have the time to go through all that. So not all the time is me. And I'm like, no, no, no. Are you're kidding me, right? That's kind of how it does. Like if they don't catch my attention within 3 to 5 seconds, I'm moving on to the next to the next one because
Yeah.
we number one we have to keep up with our conditions of our product, which is bringing only the elite athletes on here. It's not a service where we promote every athlete, everybody. No, that's not what we brought this in. We brought this up for these elite athletes that are serious about their sport, that grinds, put in the time, put in that effort. Parents are doing the exact same thing, and they're not getting their voice heard. Yes, they're getting social media posts like you've seen. You mean social media posts and everything, and then you get a couple thousand people who say, "Okay, yeah, good, good, good," but you don't know anything about him besides that he's good at this sport. So that's why we started. Kind of similar to how you started with this. So when you sent me the when you sent me the correspondence, I looked through the email, went through the site, and I'm like, holy crap. These are my exact words. I said, holy crap, this dude's big time. He fits the model of the guest that we have on this show. Yes, we got to put you on. So, not trying to I don't talk negative about any of our guests, but you know, you know, you haven't had anyone flake. We've had plenty of guests flake on us. The one that was supposed to be on here today flaked, and I said no. I'm not going to book you until December. Let's put your service out here now because I feel like it's that important, and that's why you're here, and that's why I rushed to get you on here.
Yeah, we appreciate that. You know, and to that point about the elite athletes, right? Our website gives opportunities for elite athletes for fantastic sports, players that they may not get these opportunities. Case in point, our own son last year, October, we use our own website for our own kid. He's picked up 3 or 4 times this summer alone from our own website. People don't know that it's my kid, right? That we own the website and they're reaching out to me, hey, can your kid come play with us? But last year, same thing happened. We actually went to a big tournament in Fort Myers, Florida. We drove 13 hours to get to this big week-long tournament because the team my son was playing for, they weren't good enough to go and make that tournament, to be invited to that tournament. So there was a coach who needed some extra pitching. He needed a first baseman. And he was like, "Hey, I need arms. This is a 6 day long tournament against the best 16-year-old teams in the country.
Right.
We need some people to come and give us some depth." So we drove 13 hours down to Fort Myers, Florida, to go play in this perfect game WWBA. We're playing on like MLB, where the Red Sox play on their spring training field. That's the type of facilities that perfect game the WWA books. It's a huge ordeal, and our son would have never got the opportunity to go play at that tournament had it not been for our site. And at the same tournament, like, we're down there, and I shamelessly self promote, right? When we go to my son's high school baseball games, I'm wearing a pickup portal T-shirt, right? I want people to know, like, just brand awareness, right? You get it out there. And so we're at this tournament in Fort Myers wearing a pickup portal T-shirts. My wife and I were. We had a lady come up to us. She's like, "How are you involved with the pickup portal?" And we're like, "It depends. Are you happy or mad?" And she said, "Yeah." She said, "Oh, well, we use the pickup portal and we're down here." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And so she showed her son, and the same team that picked up my son picked up her son. They flew down from New York. They hopped on a plane. A mother
Well,
and
that's
son hopped on a plane, flew down to Fort Myers to play in a tournament that her son would have never dreamed of having an opportunity to pick up at, to play in, because like they're literally on the other side of the Atlantic, seaboard. So anyway, that was fantastic that we were involved, and then another kid was also involved there. But to that point, there are tournaments that teams need help, and if you have a kid who's a really good ball player, but the team he's on may not be to the caliber, that meets his level, he could have an opportunity to go pick up and play at some of these bigger tournaments with some other teams that his team would have never been invited to go play in.
that is absolutely true too. Or you might get in a situation where the parent just not they don't even know how to get them out there
Right.
into those. So using a service like yours, because the traditional way, just word of mouth. Like, you just happen to run into somebody at a basketball game or or a tournament, or you know I'm I know it's baseball, Carlos. I'm just talking about uh experience. I'm a basketball guy. Come on,
Yes.
Carlos.
Yeah. No. No.
Give
I
me.
know. Yeah. Yeah. I know.
I heard you over there. He was like, it's baseball. I heard you. Baseball.
Hey,
Baseball.
yeah. 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 Because you're like stuttering a little bit.
Baseball.
uh,
Baseball. No, I'm just kidding. But no, this is my guy, man. He knows what I'm thinking before I even say it, and I know what he's thinking before he even say it. We just know each other that long. Um,
Well, speaking of basketball, if you don't mind, like, we know that for baseball and softball, what we're currently doing, because they're parallel sports, this
yeah.
model it works for baseball and softball.
Yeah.
Well, next year we're going to rebuild the website completely from the ground up and add a whole bunch of fantastic, cool features that are going to make it so much easier. But we're also going to add every other youth sport out there that has a club or a travel: basketball, football, lacrosse, volleyball, soccer, you name it. If it's a club sport and people are traveling for it, we want to help fill that, because I imagine it's the same need for other youth sports.
oh
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh
Exactly.
yeah,
Yes.
for everywhere, and just on our just a guess alone, I know 5 or 6 off top that are playing somewhere every weekend.
Yeah.
Like my man Isaiah Ortiz, that was on here. And
Yeah.
that guy's playing every weekend. Mr. Trip that we just had on here on Friday, he's somewhere every weekend, almost. So yeah, so there's a lot of athletes that love to just keep playing. So that's your service would be very beneficial for them. But let's get into the website.
Okay.
So anybody that's watching that's not familiar with your service, let's let them know where to go.
Yep.
So this is where you go. You would go to this link here, uh, which is the pickupportal.com. It will be in the description of this video after the live is over. I will include it. So you can, if you don't know where to look, watch this. Just go into the description of this show, click that link. It'll send you directly to Sean's site. And Sean, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this clip here. I'm going to bring it up on the screen. So, well, I'm clicking the wrong thing. Bear with me, Sean.
I'm here.
So we can show them what it would look like if for a player that wants to register. And I like doing it this way because we can stop and pause it. We can go back instead of just
Yeah.
playing it through like we did in the backstage. So okay, so I'm gonna bring it on, and you can talk through it, and you can tell me to stop at any time. Okay.
Cool.
All right. So here we go. So oh,
Yep, here it
I
is.
should let me pull the link off real quick. The greatness of going live, Sean.
Can you start that clip over? I want to see the top of it real quick because I sent you a couple different clips. Add pickup. All right, so
Yeah.
this is actually if you're a team and you need a player. So you can go in there and post that I need a catcher, I need a first baseman, I need a shortstop. You know, we look at our hotel as kind of like being a if you're looking our website is if you're looking for a hotel. You know where you're going, when you're going to be there, and what you want, what you need, what you want out of that hotel. I want a ocean view, I want a hot tub, and I want a continental breakfast. Right? Our website works the same way. With this form right here, the coaches go in there and they fill out where they're playing, what tournament it is, when they're going to be there, the dates that they're going to be there, and then what positions they need. They need a first baseman, a shortstop, a pitcher, whatever. They go in there and put that information in there. And unlike social media, when they submit that, it stays in our site. So until that date comes and goes, when a parent goes in and they are searching for opportunities for their kid to pick up, theirs is going to be on there, and it's going to be on a great little map that's going to show exactly where that tournament's being played at.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, so it's just
this
a
is
couple
just
of the
going through.
fields. Yep. It takes like literally 3 minutes, 2 minutes for a coach to post the information that they need on our website to have it visible to the parents.
Okay. And so that's the coaches. Let's bring up, hopefully I select the right one. How the parents will register their player or their child.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Let me see. Let me make sure when it comes up. Let me pause it to make sure. Is it playing?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, I have to bring it. So
It's the same
looks like
one.
the same
Yeah.
one.
But it's the same basic concept.
All right, bear with me, guys.
You're good. It's the same basic concept. Parents go in and they register their player. They give all the basic baseball information that a coach is going to ask anyway. How old is he? What graduation year is he? When was he born? What positions does he play? We just limit it to primary and secondary positions because we know a lot of parents out there, they think that their kid can just play everywhere. But truly, where do they always play? And then where do they sometimes play? It's primary and secondary positions. So that's for the adding a
This one
team.
says add.
All good.
Okay.
So as a coach, when
So
you
this is
want to
more for
go
like
in, yeah, as a coach, when you go in and you want to register your team on our website, you have to basically create the team. So you just go in and put what your team name is, what age group they play in. You can add some bio about the team, you know, whether you want to talk about team chemistry or, you know, how the parents are, whatever, right? There's a spot for the bio there. You can also add links to your team's perfect game profile or their PBR profile or the game changer profile. You can add a bunch of different stuff on your team profile on our website. So in order to
Okay,
create
and
a
then we're just
pickup
gonna let it
opportunity,
play.
you have to have a team.
exactly. Yeah, makes totally sense. You can't go on there and say, "Hey, I need a I need this player," and you don't have a team.
Right.
That would not work. All right, pretty cool. After seeing that, Carlos, what do you think?
Pretty impressive. And I feel like that'll work out for like other sports, like basketball, like my sport, basketball, football, like soccer, like for everyone else, uh, like for all the other sports, and I feel like that service is gonna be very beneficial. Like right now, like basically how the transfer portal is right now, like for AAU is like players would go on their social media and say, how do you say it? I'm this height, I'm this position, and I'm looking to play this weekend in Atlanta, for example. So that's how it would normally go in basketball. But I feel like with your service, it's gonna be very easier. It's gonna be very beneficial, and it's gonna be very good for like other sports.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
it's given. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say that's part of whenever a parent builds their player profile is you put in your city, state, and zip code of where you live, and then how far you're willing to travel. If you want to stay local, you set the limit to 50 miles. If you're willing to get in a car and drive or hop on a plane and fly, you just expand the radius. And so once you add your player there, and you put your travel radius, you also put the weekends that they're available. So if he's available this weekend, but not the next weekend, but he's available after that, you go in and select the dates that they're available. And then once you submit that information as a coach, like we live 2 hours away from Atlanta, right? Say 90 miles or so. I put in my players available, and he's available within 200 miles of my house. Wherever a coach needs a player, maybe it's to the east of me, maybe it's to the west of me, north, south, whatever. If he's looking for a player that's within my travel radius, and my kid's the right age, he plays the right position, his dates are available, those all those things line up, my kid shows up as available. So, there may not be an opportunity for my kid in say Atlanta, but he could go to Augusta or go to Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina. He could, if a team needs him within my predefined travel radius, the team can reach out to us.
Okay.
Uh, and and so let's pivot on the scale. So currently, how many states are you operating out of right now?
I think at last check, we're at 42 or 43 states in the US.
Whew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. So this is not a tiny service, y'all.
No, it's not
So let's give
regional,
y'all
it's not local.
so let's give you guys a quick rundown of the states that my man Sean is working on. Give them an idea of what this map is right here.
Yeah, so this is every one of those dots is a player, a baseball player specifically that's currently registered on our website. And what you don't see is like in the southeast, what I'll say the SEC territory, there are dots on top of dots on top of dots. We've got we're coming up on 4,000 registered players on our website. But this gives you kind of an idea of where they're located. Now, this is also 6-year-olds to 18-year-olds because that's the range of travel baseball. For whatever reason, parents are crazy and they want to start the chaos early, and they'll start as young as 6 years old for travel ball. I mean, travel t-ball of all things. But anyway, there's a need for it, so we offered it, and yeah, these are all the baseball players. This map is updated as of I don't know a couple weeks ago.
So it's probably you probably have lot more dots on there now, right?
There'll be more dots for sure, but they might be underneath other dots. Like if another player, if 100 players register in Georgia, it's not going to show any more dots because Georgia's pretty well covered up. But if they're going to register in Iowa or Utah, yes, those dots will show up better because there's not as saturated there.
Okay, it's pretty cool to see that you're all the way from Los Angeles, New York. Florida's just saturated with dots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the whole eastern side of the United States is like changed colors. So so that just shows that your idea is branching off all across the country.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. But
Yeah, and I
this is
think the
just a
reason that we're primarily heavy right now, like in the eastern US, is because a lot of social media algorithms, because we live, say, in Atlanta, we're just a little ways from there. A lot of our organic social media reach is within a certain geography of where we live, where our IP address is. So whenever we just make a general post out there, just send it out on our own page or a profile, it's going to be limited in reach. People in Washington state are not going to see my post unless I target those people.
uh, that makes a whole lot of sense. That dang on algorithm. Um, but we want to give a shout out to my man Sneed here on the SMT Media Network. Sneed, on he's another podcaster here. I've been on his show a couple times. He does a great job of talking sports. So that's my guy Sneed. Right now, Sneed, we're promoting Pickup Portal. So if you can put a blast on your site, on your podcast about this, it'll be greatly appreciated for my man Sean, because
Yeah, we'd love that,
see,
Coach Snead.
he's helping out. We're a lot of athletes. But I want to give a shout out to my man Sneed, first time viewer. No, not the first time. I think you've been on here before. But shout out. Okay, so he says, yeah, I'll post in the community tab. Okay.
Appreciate that.
So this is the baseball players. So you don't discriminate.
Nope,
You
not
don't
at
just say,
all.
"Oh no, we're just gonna promote the boys." No, as you can see, there's almost equal amount of yellow dots. And tell them what these yellow dots represent.
Yeah, so all these yellow dots are softball players, fast pitch softball players. Again, from young kids to 18-year-olds, all across the country. Baseball is kind of taking a hold a little more than softball has yet, but yeah, you guys want to know the difference between baseball and softball? I'll tell you what the difference is.
What?
One of them requires elite athletes to not only know how their own position, but they have to manage the game better. The coach has got to be more strategic and everything. And the other one is baseball.
Okay. Okay. All
I
right.
got it. I got the joke right off the bat.
Yeah, one of my sons dates a college softball player, and we love watching fast pitch softball too. It's fantastic. So
Oh,
yeah,
fast.
they're parallel sports, right? They need just as many players on a softball field as they do on a baseball field. They run the bases the same direction. They throw the ball a little funny, in softball, but yeah. So we wanted to just, since they're parallel sports, why not? Let's include softball too.
I am, and it's good to see that. Hey, there are all across the country, almost as equal. So, but I've seen a couple of those softball tournaments, boy. Those fast pitch, whew, them girls. I don't know how they shoulders stay in socket, how they wind
Yeah,
that
they
thing
they
up
don't
and just
believe in
line it.
pitch counts. They don't believe in pitch counts in softball.
Well, they need to, because the way they be, uh-uh,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. And last but not least, what are these purple and blue dots?
Yeah, so the blue dots are baseball teams, the purple dots are softball teams. Parents always want to know, are there any teams that actually use your website? Well, yeah, and here's where they are.
And there's a lot of them.
Baseball and softball. Hundreds, hundreds, hundreds. I mean, I think we're coming up on 800 teams between baseball and softball combined that are using our site. And not using it a little, I mean using it regularly. It just, it works.
So, what is the biggest peak? You've done this for a year. I know it might need another year for you to obtain more accurate data. But so far, what has shown to you, which is your peak season? of traffic to your site?
Yeah, it'd be June. June and July are pretty close. June edges out July just a little bit, which makes perfect sense when you think about it. School's out in May. Summer
Mhm.
travel ball is just going nuts, especially for the older kids, middle school and high school kids. Travel ball is at its peak in June and July. And then August, it almost bottoms out because kids start school. You know, coaches are smart enough to realize parents need their babies to get some sleep before they start school year. So there's not a whole lot of travel ball that goes on in the month of August, but June and July is wild with the traffic. I mean, I could literally show you the chart of visits to our site, and then how many searches are being done, and new registrations, all that stuff. And it is definitely, there's a bell curve there. The summer season is huge, and that also makes perfect sense because vacations happen, right? Coaches in travel baseball, they host their tryouts in like January, December for the upcoming spring summer season. And in like March or April, they have their tournaments scheduled for the summer. You know, you have to get into these tournaments early, book your spot, or the tournament will sell out. And then you got to go find another tournament to play. And so the coaches, they book their 7, 8, 10 tournaments, however many they're going to play in, and they share that information with the parents, hopefully early enough that the parents schedule their summer vacations around the baseball tournaments, but it never always works out for every team.
Yeah.
So when kids are out of school, it's summer vacation, kids miss tournaments because mom and dad said, I already paid for the flight to Disney. We're going to Disney. And coaches just got to deal with it. Well, part of them dealing with it is finding players to backfill the kid who's now on vacation.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, this solves that need and takes a lot of stress off of these coaches. And hopefully it'll calm down the rift between coaches and parents because
Yeah.
they both they're like parent it's I'm not even gonna go into that. But hopefully that calms that rift because we as coaches we just go you knew the schedule. Why are you booking a vacation in the middle? You know we're going to Cooperstown in a week. That's huge. That's a big deal. Why are you taking your? He needs to train and get ready for it.
Yep.
Parents parents
And,
don't.
and you know,
This is
there
just understand.
there are times when a kid legitimately needs to miss a tournament. He could get sick, right? Flu, strep,
Oh
COVID,
yeah,
whatever, and the kid just can't go. Family emergencies happen. Grandma is in the hospital, whatever, right? There are reasons, legitimate reasons why kids can't go to a tournament. And normally with a roster, if you're missing one or two kids, you can get by. It's okay, especially for the younger ages when they're just playing 2 day tournaments, Saturday, Sunday tournament. You miss one or two kids, you can probably do okay. But when they get older, 13, 14, 15 years old, now they're playing 4, 5, 6 day long tournaments. We recently played in a tournament that was started on a Tuesday, ended on the following Wednesday. It was an 8 day long tournament.
Wow.
That's
jeez.
nuts.
Wow,
So
that's
when you run into, yeah, it's crazy, and you play one game a day, which don't even get me started on that, how that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, so it's a huge time investment for the parents, and as a parent, you're like, hey, I want a beach vacation, so he can miss one tournament. We're gonna play 10 tournaments this spring and summer. He can miss one, and unfortunately, that puts the coach in a bad spot. And even worse, if enough kids do that, or you have enough kids that get sick, if your roster is normally 13, 14 kids, and all of a sudden 4 or 5 of them go on vacation, get sick, whatever, now the coach can't play. He's got to cancel that tournament. And we've been on the receiving end of we're ready to play. Like we committed to that schedule. We scheduled our vacation on a different weekend. And now we had enough players bail that we're not even playing on the weekend we're supposed to play on. The coach had to cancel the tournament because he couldn't find guest players, pickup players to offset the ones who couldn't make it. So then it disrupts the rest of the team, not just the coach, but the rest of the parents who have dedicated that time to go be at that tournament. And then usually there's a makeup tournament somewhere else, a week or 2 weeks, 5 weeks down the road, that as a parent I didn't plan for. So that might interfere with other things. Anyway, there's a ripple effect when you have an upset in the roster where you're short on players and the coach has got to cancel the tournament.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that happens more often than you think, and not just in baseball. It's
But it doesn't have
it's
to. It doesn't have to
uh,
happen. And
You have the solution.
I have the solution. We built a better mousetrap. In fact, we built the only mousetrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only one so far, but it's showing a lot of success. Um, I don't I don't have um the data on the traffic to your site, but give
Yeah.
us an estimate of the traffic that goes onto your website.
So, and by and large, I've ignored the overall traffic to our website, by and large, until June of this year, when we were just over. We launched April of last year. Fast forward a year and a couple months, it's June of 2025 now, and I just happened to look at the data, and I was like, "Holy cow, babe! You got to come look at this number on my computer. It doesn't make sense." And my wife comes over, and 2 million people, 2 million people came to our website over like a 14-month time span. That was in June. Now we're early August. We just hit another million. Now we're at 3 million people, and a million people came to our site in the last 6 weeks.
Wow.
It's
And that's just
nuts.
Oh, wow. That's
and
crazy.
that's just one sport. And that's
Baseball
just
and
baseball and
softball.
softball. That's just
Yeah.
baseball and softball.
It's incredible. I could literally show you the analytics on it. We use our own website analytics, Google Analytics, Mailchimp because we do email blasts and stuff. It's just crazy. I mean, it took us a year. To call it a year to get 2 million visitors. Well, it took us 6 weeks to get another million visitors. I don't know what the next 6 weeks is going to look like, and we're in like a dead season right now.
Well, once you add those other sports, you're not going to have a dead season because you're going to have one sport overlapping the other one, um,
That's right.
and they all go year round.
That's
Well,
right.
not so much football, though.
Yeah, but so you do
Football
have like
is still
your
kind of going through
sports. You do have your sports that even if they just play the
but
primary season, right? So baseball is a spring sport, football is a fall sport. So you're gonna have kids who play baseball, and then those kids go on to play football. So instead of us seeing that big spike in the spring, we should see the big spike in the spring and then really level out because they're going to transition right into football, then right into basketball.
mhm,
Volleyball is a winter sport. You're going to, for us, like we should see it pretty well steady state, other than when school starts. The beginning of August is always going to be slower because parents are looking out for their kids and starting the new school year.
starting the school year, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
But you also dived into the next thing I wanted to talk about is a lot of these kids are using your site for baseball and softball are multi-sport athletes, like my man Kaysen over here. Um, so so yeah, this is my football guy Kaysen. Shout out to Kaysen.
What up?
Um, uh, he, he's been on here since episode 4. Always supports, and he just like what you offer on your service. He just recently helped out on with another team down in Pennsylvania, and here he is right here.
Attaboy.
I won that yesterday.
Got a medal. There you go.
Wow. Good job.
That's my man Kaysen. So once you launch soccer on there, I'm Kaysen. You guys register, and you guys find teams all the time. Even though he loves Hex, the club that he's on right now.
Yeah.
But sometimes but sometimes Kaysen for you know gets helps out on their squads like he did this weekend.
Yeah.
And I have a little video here to show you, Sean.
What you got?
I'm gonna
About
I'm gonna show you my man Kaysen in action. Yeah, I'm embarrassing you, Kaysen.
Promoting. You're promoting.
Nah, I'm just kidding. No, that's my guy. He knows I'm hazing him. But that was pretty quick, but that's my guy, man. He's pretty elite. So I'm gonna put the website back up here. Um, so guys, once you get that football back up there, I'm pretty sure my man Case in the register.
Awesome. Yeah, it's coming.
So
It's coming. Just a matter of time.
yeah, but like you said, a lot of these baseball players, softball players that you have on there are multi-sport athletes. So with them already registering on your site, it's going to be a lot of them will of those what 4,000, 5,000 athletes,
Yeah,
maybe 1,000, maybe half of them 2,500 are multi-sport. It will be nothing for them. They already registered
that's right.
just to flip over to another sport. So
That's right.
and then of course you got the word of mouth too.
Well,
So
we're going this this January. I'm sorry, this coming up January. For baseball, there's a convention called the American Baseball Coaches Association, ABCA, and they do a convention every January. It changes locations throughout the year or from year to year. This past January was in like Washington D.C. The year before was in Dallas or Houston. This coming year is going to be in Columbus, Ohio. So we're going to set up a booth at this ABCA convention, and there's between 10 and 15,000 baseball coaches that go to this thing every single year. And it's a big trade show. All these vendors are there. Your big bat manufacturers, Hit Tracks, Rapsodo, all these guys are going to be there. And we got a booth right next to all of them. So we're going to be able to go there and really, I mean, I'm investing. I'm praying and believing that trade show, that convention itself, the ABCA in January, is going to open up so many doors, and not only for the youth side, but we've also, as of a couple months ago, included collegiate summer leagues. Believe it or not, college baseball is still going on, even
oh yeah,
though they already played the World Series. The College World Series. They have collegiate summer leagues beyond the College World Series stuff. So we've helped place a couple of college guys on some collegiate summer leagues.
hmm
And so we're really, I've got some lunches and dinners already scheduled with a few of these league commissioners while we're going to be there in the same place, and it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be awesome.
and that is amazing, man. It's great to see to hear the direction that you're going, expanding. Number one, multiple sports. Now you're branching up into the collegiate level. That's big time because that and they have access, to all these athletes that's in your portal. So that'd
Right.
be pretty cool. Um, so what we're gonna do now that we reach the part on this show where we want to hear from the audience. So if you want to come in here, talk to my man Sean, ask him questions about his service, or just give me your feedback on how much you appreciate it. Go ahead and click that link that I just posted in the chat. That'll bring you on the show. And don't worry, Sean doesn't bite.
Nah, give me all the hard questions, man. I live for that stuff.
All right, and just like you said, whatever's in January they're gonna relaunch it, and he's gonna have the service available for every sport that you guys play. So
Yeah, I don't know that it's going to be January officially yet because I still have to. My web developer's working on it. It's going to take a lot of money, guys. We're invested. This is not something that we just did. A WordPress website that I just did on my computer in my basement. This is a legitimate service that's going to take a lot of time and energy to put into. And I'm waiting on my web developer to tell me how long it's going to take and what it's going to cost me. It's going to be next year. I would imagine early next year. I don't know about January, but it's coming.
okay,
All right.
okay,
I don't want
yeah,
anybody walking out with some false hopes that Casing with soccer is gonna be able to sign up for this thing in January, February, because I just don't know that we're going to be quite there yet.
uh,
For sure. For sure. All right.
yeah, yeah. You're right. It is gonna take some time. You got to get the intricacies out the way.
Yeah, so it's
But
a
guys,
website right now, but it's also going to be a mobile app too. So you'll be able to download it from the App Store on your phone.
Okay.
So all that's going to be
good.
part of the rollout that we do when we go to relaunch it next year.
Man, that's gonna be very convenient for everybody too, because you know what? Yeah, you know what they are? Always on their phone.
That's right.
Yep. Everybody on their phones.
Always on their phone. But come on, guys, don't be ashamed, man. Click that link, man. Come on the show. Uh, ask your hard hitting questions. Learn more about his service. And it's available for all you. It's going to be available for all you athletes. Eventually, it's going to be available for all you guys. But get your interest in it now.
Yeah, get in on the ground level, right? You can
Yeah.
tell you can tell your friends, hey, I was with those guys before they got big. I heard about them on the Be Ready Sports podcast, and I decided to sign up, and we all got big together.
Yes,
True.
sir. Yes, sir. Um, so while we're waiting on our audience to click this link and come on here, I know we're going to get at least one person on here.
Yeah.
Um, what is the what is the one thing that you love the most about your service and your site?
So travel ball is expensive, right? Like, I think we touched on that a little bit earlier. It can cost anywhere from $1,500 for your 8-year-old to play to $5,000 for your 16-year-old to play for just the spring season, right? Super expensive. And we don't want to tack on to that. And I know personally some kids at our local high school and middle school who are super talented athletes, but their parents just can't afford to play travel baseball full time, right? They just don't have the finances to be able to justify spending two or three, $4,000 to go play a fun sport. So with our website, God, we only charge $20 a year for a player. $20. You skip, two lattes at Starbucks and it's paid for itself for the full year. And you don't have to be a travel ball player currently. You pay the $20. As long as you know how to play the sport, a team out there will likely find you. And for $20, you can go play in a tournament that you'd have never had the opportunity to play in. Even if it's a small local tournament where they're giving plastic rings out, who cares? Those are a great time for your kid, especially the 9, 10, 11 year olds. If they're just playing little league baseball and you want to go try out this travel ball thing before you go invest a ton of money in a team, give us a shot. You've literally got $20 to lose. I could probably go out and you guys probably could too look in the console of your car and come up with half of that and change. So, we're not out here trying to get rich. We're just trying to provide a service for everybody, and we're trying to make it affordable. And that's what my wife and I have committed to doing is not pricing this thing so far out of the reach of everybody. We want everybody. I don't care what your background is, what status in this country you are, low income, middle income, high income, it doesn't matter. We want everybody to have the same opportunity with us.
That is amazing because hey, you DoorDash one meal that's costing you 20.
That's right.
That's costing you
That's
20
right.
bucks right. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Um, for all you guys want to give an understanding of how bad the inflation has gotten. If you have the Walmart app and you guys shop on that Walmart app, it keeps a record of all of your orders on there. So you can go back to 2000 pre-COVID and pull up a receipt pre-COVID to see how much your orders were, and you can reorder that exact same order, it and you're paying an extra 90 100 bucks more.
Here's a pro tip when you do that. When you go back and look at those old orders, put your phone on the counter and scroll through it without grabbing it. Because when you see that all your stuff went up so far on your price, you're going to throw your phone. You're going to get so mad at how much more expensive things are, you're going to throw it across the wall.
Yeah, it's insane how the how it's getting.
Yeah.
Like that's over 135% in 6 years. It's crazy. So
Yeah.
no one's gonna click on the link. Come on, y'all. Come
You
on,
know,
y'all been good. Y'all been good. Come on, y'all. Click the link.
we touched on it earlier too, and I'll just put some topics out there in case anybody wants to talk about it. Pitch counts. For softball, there's no pitch counts. For baseball, there are pitch counts for youth. Even at high school levels, right? For us, the GHSA determines how many pitches a pitcher can throw in a day, and then how many days rest he needs after that. One of the critiques that we get pretty regularly is about coaches abusing players, abusing pitchers by way of pitch count. So if you are a pickup player and you're going to go guest on another team, right? You don't know this guy, he doesn't know you, but your kid's a pitcher. Parents, you should trust the coach because you should honestly ask some questions before you go let your kid play for him. But keep track of your kid's pitch counts. Your 12-year-old should not be pitching 70, 80, 90 pitches in a game. If he is, be mad at the coach, but be mad at yourself too, because we should be the number one advocate for our kids. And if you're not keeping track of their pitch count, there's a chance the coach isn't either, right? He's going to wait till that kid says, I'm tired, or I walked too many people, so he's got to pull him now. Parents, we got to do our job and keep track of these things. In baseball, it's pitch counts because, Little League elbow, Tommy John surgery, kids are having it at younger and younger ages because they're trying to throw junk pitches, curveballs and sliders and all that stuff, which is another problem. But pitch count is a huge part of that. And parents, y'all got to pay attention to those things. And it's not on us giving your kid an opportunity to play somewhere to manage his pitch count. Like, you're the one behind the dugout, behind the fence, watching your kid play. There's so many ways to monitor his pitch count. And don't be afraid to go to the dugout and talk to the coach between innings and say, little Timmy here, he's done pitching for the day. Like, he's at 86 pitches and we're in the 5th inning. I mean, he's done. And if the coach doesn't respect that, you're well in your rights to grab your kid and go to the car, because coaches need to take care of those things.
Yeah, because that's what my guy Adam says. Whenever when they go to like a big tournament, he's like, I can't have just 3 pitchers. I need more pitchers because you're playing a tournament that's going to be six days long, like Cooperstown. You need more than 3 pitchers.
Right.
Definitely need more than 3 pitchers.
And for those big tournaments, that might be like what I call their one destination tournament a year, right? The coach puts out this regular local schedule where you're within an hour of your home every weekend, except for one big tournament. You're going to go do something big and great and fantastic. Well, for that one tournament, you might need some depth in your roster.
Oh yeah, because you gotta also got to think about this. If his primary position is a pitcher, he's a quarterback too.
That's right. So
what's that college kid in Miami who just recently had Tommy John surgery? We talked about him yesterday.
Carson Beck.
Who he just recently had Tommy, and he's a collegiate quarterback. He's not even in the big leagues. He's not even in the big leagues yet, and already had it. So it is serious. It is serious, and it's a big issue in baseball.
Yeah, and it's crazy how it's that Tommy John's not like, it's becoming a routine surgery, which is very disappointing, because it shouldn't be a routine surgery for teenagers, right? It might be at the college and professional level, whether it's independent ball or pro ball. That might be a little more routine because those guys are playing 160 games a year. But if you're a 13, 14-year-old, 15-year-old player and you've had Tommy John, man, I cannot imagine as a parent how that would make me feel, because, again, the coaches are supposed to be advocates for your kids, but that's my job, right? God gives me these kids, and I got one job: protect them. Raise them up right and protect them. And if I'm not educating myself in how to do that in these activities that they have, then I have failed my kid. You don't just toss your kid the car keys without giving them some clear guidelines, some instructions, some guardrails, some barriers that keep them safe, right? You don't just let them take your boat out on the lake without them going through some things that makes them, capable of doing that. And sports should be no different. If you play basketball and you get checked in the paint, you hit your head on the hardwood, and you get your bell rung, right?
Yeah.
You probably should sit out a little while, right?
Yeah.
Your parents should probably take you to your pediatrician and have you checked out for a concussion.
Yeah.
Those are things that parents need to honestly take ownership of, and it's on nobody else but the parent, because there's not going to be a single advocate better for my kid than me. I'm going to
Yeah,
promote him better than anybody, and I'm going to defend him better than anybody.
I had that. I had that happen last year. Um, First game. Uh, my tall kid, shorter kid, uh, broke his nose. Got broken middle of the game. Um, we pulled him out, took him to the side. I was like, "Oh no!" I called his dad over there. I was like, "Yeah, you need to take him. You need to take him to the doctor." Um, his face is no. It was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm glad that he's conscious and everything,
Yeah,
but
Yeah. He done.
but
He done.
no, you need to take him. You need to take him to the doctor." And I just come from me having experience and going to college and taking sports sports management and all that. So looking at so come to find out, yeah, he's fractured his orbital bone up here in his nose.
yeah,
He sat for I think about a month. He sat for like a month before he was released to contact. But I made him keep his mask on for the rest of the season.
yeah. And we had our own personal experience. Again, my youngest son, the one who plays travel ball, he was 12 years old, and he always played outfield growing up. Incredible arm. The kid just hoses people from the outfield. It's crazy the throws that he makes. Well, he was 12 years old. We were playing in a tournament, and he threw a kid out from, like, the kid. It was a legit triple, and to the warning track, right to the fence. And my son was playing center field, and it was in the right center gap. And my son chased it down, and this kid is hauling around the bases. And my son makes a throw all the way from the warning track to third base, and gets the kid out. But I didn't care about the result of the play so much as when I saw my kid throw and then his arm hung down and he put his glove over his elbow. I thought, there's something wrong here. And the fact that he didn't, like, just shake it off and go about his business, like, I could tell as his parent, like, I've seen him throw more than anybody else has seen him throw. I know what he should look like. And there was a visible difference there. So that inning was over, fortunately, right then. But he came in the dugout, and I was coaching at the time, and I was like, "What's wrong with your arm?" And he was like, "Dad, my elbow is killing me. I can't." Tried to pick up a baseball, and he couldn't close his hand around. He said, I can't hold a ball." And I was like, "Oh crap! You're done. You've done something." And so, he was done the rest of the game. We pulled him out, and he was done for the rest of the tournament. Monday, we took him to his pediatrician. She forwarded us to a sports medicine doctor who did x-rays on his elbow. Unfortunately, it was a growth plate thing. His growth plate was separating some. So he had to take 6 weeks off, and he wasn't allowed to throw a baseball for 6 weeks. So he DH'd and he ran bases and did things like that. So he was still active and playing with a team, but he wasn't able to throw a baseball for 6 weeks. And we had to go back like every 2 or 3 weeks and have his elbow re-x-rayed just to make sure that everything was healing the way it should. And that wasn't really from overuse, but that was from him not telling us that it had been hurting for 2 or 3 weeks. He was masking the pain so he could keep playing. And it wasn't until he literally couldn't grab a baseball that we realized there's something wrong. So, know your kids. You know what they should run, like what they look like when they run. You can tell if they got a limp. Carlos, when you're running down the court and your parents see like you got this little limp or you're favoring one side or the other, they're going to notice those things, whether you tell them or not.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So true. Health is important. Health is important. You know. Wh- wh- wh-
You got it, Carlos. You got it.
when first signs, when first signs happen, try and report it. Try and report it right away. You know what I mean? Because obviously it grows and grows and grows, and then unfortunately it might be too late, and then
Right. You have a serious injury then.
Yeah, yeah, it could be like really bad.
When that was a learning lesson for our son, where even now, right, he's a senior in high school. He went his junior year. He was a starting pitcher and first baseman outfielder for the varsity baseball team, and he wasn't feeling right. Like in the weight room, he pulled a lat or something, and he was like, "Dad, it kind of hurts a little bit." And I said, "Well, make sure you tell your coach." And so he did. And he was like, "Coach, I don't think that I can throw because like my lat over here hurts pretty bad anytime I raise my arm above my head, and that's kind of important for throwing a ball, right?" So he was actually taking himself out of games, understanding that long term injury. Nobody cares that you threw a kid out, from the outfield in your junior year in high school, or you struck three kids out in an inning if you have a long-term injury. When you're 40 years old and you got injured in high school, you don't want that to be a nagging injury that can literally last the rest of your life.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that can happen with your elbows, shoulders, especially your
Knees, all of it.
back, your
Yep.
hips. Those are injuries that are hard to recover from, and it takes years to
Right.
fully, if you ever do, recover from those type of injuries. So you see it all the time. Um, just going back to basketball, you see Kawhi Leonard, who's had that same nagging knee injury um, over the years that keeps flaring up. I don't think it was ever fully diagnosed correctly. So that's also
Well,
a big thing. They
yeah,
got to.
those pro athletes, they have access to the best treatment, the best physicians in the world, and they get nagging injuries like that. And a lot of times they're playing injured because they don't want to lose their spot on a roster, especially if they're a free agent. But you got to take care of your body. You get one body, that's it.
Hmm.
You got to take care of that guy. And nobody wants to be 40 years old having knee replacements or getting their back discs fused together. That's what's crazy. As parents, we just gotta look out for our kids.
Yeah, but what do you tell that kid that gets that nagging injury um, to on the week of that once a year event like Cooperstown,
Yep.
and he has that nagging injury, and he's like, "Man, coach, man, I worked all year for this, man. I gotta go, man. No, I don't care. I don't care that I can't throw. I need to. I gotta play." What do you
Right.
tell that kid?
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
where the parents got to step up and be parents, right? Your job as a parent is not to be their buddy and tell them all how great they are and all the great things that they can do. It's to protect them, and that's a hard conversation to have. We've had it with our own kid, and we've watched other parents do it with their kids, and it's tough. It absolutely is tough, especially when they get older and they've worked at a sport all their life up to that point, and then they can't do it because they're injured or another circumstance happens. Those are very hard conversations to have, but they got to be had. It's not worth long term pain.
I agree. I always live. I live, but I was like, hey, I always tell them. I always tell them. So, you, what do you rather do? Shorten your career to play this one game that you're probably in 5 years from now you probably won't remember, or sit it out and and maintain your career so you can get to play college ball. It's like, yeah, but coach, yeah, but what if you re-aggravate it here, and
Right.
then and you get into your junior year in high school, and then your doctor says, well, um, you can't play your sport anymore because you've been playing on this nagging injury for the last 5 years, and you never got to treat it. Now you can't play anymore.
Right.
So, and I tell I know it's hard to get a 10, 11, 12-year old to understand that, but a 15 and 16-year old can better understand what you're trying to tell them. Like,
Right.
yeah, coach, I think because like the older kids, I never really get to that much pushback when you explain it to them that way. It's like you're trying, hey, you're this close to college, that's where you want to get. Do you want to really risk that to play in this game that you're not going to remember 5 years, 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now?
Right.
Because if you were aggravated and you're gonna be really pissed off when you go take your physical for North Carolina or whatever college you want to go to, and they say, "Oh no, we can't we
Yeah, they
gotta
can't play.
we gotta revoke your athletic scholarship because you're ineligible to play because of that injury.
Right.
So you better hope you got a academic scholarship so you can at least still go to school. So
Yep.
so it's easier to have those conversations with those older kids, but a 10, 11-year-old ain't gonna understand. So you have to have that conversation with their parent.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's where as parents, right, we need to. It always bothered me when a parent drops their kid off at practice and leaves. It all like I get it. You got stuff to do. You got errands to run. You might have other kids to work to look after. That's fine. But it always bothered me when they would never stay for practice. Like we live in a small town. I know what these people do. I know their hobbies. I know their families, whether they got young kids, old kids, whatever, right? And for a family, for a mom or dad to just drop their kid off at what then be like to me looks like I'm the babysitter for 2 hours on some random Tuesday night, right? And then they leave. That's fine sometimes, but at some point you need to stay around and watch your kid because you need to know how he moves, how he runs, how he throws, how he swings. So when those things happen, when something appears off, it's a lot easier to see that because you've been there watching him.
that is 100% true.
And you
Um,
also get to look at the rest of the team and hopefully be unbiased about your kid's athletic ability compared to the other, if it's baseball, the other 10, 11, 12 kids that he's trying to beat out for a spot on the roster, you know? So,
yeah,
several reasons why parents need to go to practices. I get it. Some teams want closed practices where the parents aren't around. That's okay, but that coach is now taking ownership of a lot of things. And the biggest one is always the health of the player, but they take a bigger stake in that.
yeah. I can understand why some coaches do it. Because sometimes they feel like parents get in the way. But
Yeah,
if you as a coach you establish those guidelines at the beginning of the season, you will not have those problems.
that's right.
Like if you establish from the beginning, like I don't mind you parents being here, but sideline coaching is not allowed at all.
That's right.
Um, if they're not focusing on what's going on the field and they're looking at you, they can catch a fly ball to the side of their head because they're listening to you telling them stuff that contradicts what the coach is saying in the first place.
That's right.
So in baseball, they really have to lock in when they're on that field because you never know when that ball's coming flying at you. You
Right.
gotta know. Same thing with basketball. You gotta pay attention because if you're on that court, you're looking at dad. You have another kid come at you at 100 miles an hour, and that collision, somebody can get seriously injured. Same thing with
And I don't
football.
I don't
It,
care
like,
how high you can bounce a basketball. Yes, it's bouncy. That thing hurts when you get caught upside the head with it.
Oh yeah.
If you turn around and all of a sudden it hits you, oh man, it ruins your day.
well, and
Yeah.
also basketball players don't wear growing protection either. So
Yeah.
you get hit there,
you
boy.
you become the joke of the team for a while. People are gonna laugh at you. Yeah,
You
Yeah.
you'll be a social media meme for a long time.
that's right. That's right.
Well, I'm kind of disappointed in our audience, man. Nobody clicked that link to come talk to you, Sean. I'm disappointed. Shame on them.
I view it as like you guys did such a good job asking questions and I answered them good enough that they just got no questions, man.
Well, they
Yeah.
could
We
have just
covered
came
it
on and
all.
said hi. We love we love the interaction with the audience. The
Yeah,
interaction with the audience. It helps the show. It helps the show grow. It helps the show get better. Um, and the interaction when the show's over. You share it. You like it. You subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff. It tells Instagram like, okay, so they're engaging with this show. It helps. All interactions help the show grow. It
that's right.
doesn't matter if it's just one comment or one like. It all with this social media thing, YouTube. It all matters.
The wonderful algorithm.
It all matters. Even
Yep.
with your site, somebody just going on just clicking, even if they don't register, that's the fact they clicked on your site. It all matters.
Yeah, if you
Um,
go on Google and you Google search guest baseball player, we're going to be in the top 5 search results. If you Google pickup player, we're in the top search results. And all that is because of the traffic that comes to our site, right? People visiting our site, our social media stuff, liking, commenting, sharing, all those things. Yeah.
all your yeah, you guys always complain like, yeah, oh, my little voice don't matter. Yeah, well, in social media, yeah, your clicks matter.
That's right.
your your
That's right.
your your clicks matter. So before we close it out, Sean, is there any because I could talk the sports in all that all day long. I can talk sports all day long. Carlos will tell you.
Yeah.
You know,
See how he said, yeah.
the only thing that I want to leave people with is we're just trying to help your player get more reps, and we're trying to keep your team's schedule intact. So we want to take out all the chaos, all of the upset with schedules and all that stuff. We're truly just trying to do one thing and do it to a very very high level. And that's what differentiates us from now the couple competitors that have come out. You know, since we've been so successful in doing this, there's been a couple people that have come out with their own thing, and that's great. I think competition breeds better competition. Um,
Hmm.
but they're trying to do everything for everybody, and we want to do one thing, and we want to be the best at it.
Yeah,
Mm.
that the smart way is to start with what you're good at, th- and then once that catches on, then branch off.
That's right.
You know, that's like if we decide we want to come on here, like, yeah, we want to talk sports, politics, the weather, all
That's
this,
right.
man. It's gonna be chaos, and you're not gonna get, and it's gonna be chaos. You're not gonna get an established audience. None of that. You got to build with what you're good at, and then once you get there, then you know, throw a nugget over there to say, okay, let's do
Right.
a topic about something else to see how the audience responds, and then boom. I said, that's the correct way of doing it. But yeah, they're trying to do everything all at once, not wishing them uh, to fail, but it's gonna be very difficult.
Right.
It's gonna be very difficult at first.
Yeah, that's I think what's going to differentiate us, not only because we're the first out there and we're currently the biggest, but we're just trying to be the best at doing one thing only. Um, if you guys were to talk about the weather, I would be shocked unless it was like record snowfall during a Packers game or something, right? That kind of weather y'all should cover, but whether it's sunny or rainy in Philadelphia, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be like, okay, yeah, it's sunny in Florida right now, and it's going to rain by 3 o'clock. And I don't think we're going to
Right.
do that.
Yeah,
But if it
4:30 every
rains
day,
out,
you're gonna get rain.
but if it rains out the Notre Dame Miami Hurricane game on the 31st,
That's right.
we got weather that's going to impact the game. Then yeah, maybe I think we need to talk about that.
Right. Yeah.
But okay, y'all. Go ahead, Carlos. Give the spiel.
Hmm? Spiel.
Give the spiel.
Oh, so like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell icon, you know, to get notified of when we go live. You know what I mean? We're in the 55th episode. We're so close to 200 subscribers. I believe on our Instagram we have 900 followers now. Tony, we got 900 followers now.
900, nine hundred
Thank
and
you.
six to be exact. And that's in and
Exact.
that's in what, 4 months. So
Yeah,
yeah, all your clicks matter, y'all.
yeah,
We've gained like
900 followers.
five followers just being on on Instagram alone, just being on air. So they love you. They love you, Sean.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's awesome.
But also, guys, like I said, every little thing everything helps to keep this show on. Thanks to your donations, we was able to we able to obtain a new entrance music that Sean absolutely loved.
That was
When he
awesome, by the way. I'm sitting over here hoping that my camera wasn't on because I was getting it.
but yeah, thanks to your guys' donations, that has helped us, get our own custom intro music. We got our sound effects board, but there's still things that we can do, to grow our show. So as of now, to donate, we accept donations through Zelle, Zelle only at this time. So if you can Zelle us at 954-664-8962, and the proceeds would go directly into the podcast, to help this thing keeps going. So continually subscribe to the channel. We're two subscribers away from 200. Um, like the video. That tells Instagram, oh, they like this video. Let's send it out to more people. And of course, also share this video with your friends and family on YouTube. Man, the more eyeballs that watch it, the more YouTube is gonna push this content out, and the more people will see my man Sean's service. So you know, every little thing matters.
Yeah, I really
Uh,
appreciate you guys having me on, especially on such short notice like that. Sucks the other guy flaked out, but I'm glad he flaked out because it gave me an opportunity to get on y'all's show. I'm really, really looking forward to watching your growth too.
no, it was a situation. Was Oh my goodness gracious. I can't. It was one of those situations where I looked at it and I was like, I can't have him wait till December because we're booked all the way up to December. Like I can show you the calendar. We're booked all the way up to till December. Um, but I already reached out to the to. Well, I'm not going to tell his business, but I did my due diligence and saying this is what we need for the episode. I didn't hear back. We had to do what's best for the show. So
I think it was meant to
I
be
didn't want
divine
you to wait.
intervention,
I
baby.
was like, no,
Yep.
let's get you. Yeah, let's get you on here. So
I appreciate it
any
very
last
much.
comments you have, Carlos, before
No,
we wrap this episode up?
no, we're good. No.
What? Carlos is
What?
speechless.
Now we talked about it all. Thank you, Sean, for being here.
Absolutely.
Man, Sean, we're gonna have to bring you back on here in an update. Probably, close to when you're gonna do your launch, when you relaunch your site with the new updates. We're gonna bring you back then. Um, when we get back in the break room, we'll find a date of it January and bring you back on here, um, so you can, talk about your updates and the new direction you're going with adding the new sports. So we want to bring you back for that.
Absolutely. That'd be great. I'd love that.
All right, guys. We want to thank you for tuning in to another awesome episode of the Be Ready Sports Podcast. Do not forget, donate to the channel. Donate Zelle at 954-664-8962. Uh, remember to subscribe to this channel. Hit that bell icon. Like the video, like it up, and share the episode. And lastly, Sean, tell them where they can find you on social media and everything.
Yeah, so we're all over every social media platform out there. Facebook, we're coming up on 10,000 followers. We've got a page, a profile, and a Facebook group. The Facebook group's got like 18,000 people in it. Instagram, of course, 1,400 followers. We got Twitter. We got my wife is a TikTok person, so she's doing this full time now. She started a TikTok for us. Yeah, we're over just about every major social media platform out there. It should be all under the Pickup Portal brand. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll pick a portal. So I got a lot of links I need to get from you to attach to this episode, Sean.
I'll send them all.
All right, so Carlos.
Yeah.
Oh, don't go anywhere, Sean. We're gonna do the wrap up afterwards.
Okay.
I forgot to tell you that before we came on. So Carlos,
All right. Let's go.
it's that time again.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1.
To be ready.
And to stay ready.
We had to wake them up.
And we're out, guys.
And it was a great having you on today, Sean. Tune in to next Thursday. We're going to bring on here the #1 ranked 7th grader in the state of Florida, my man Levy. Teammates with Jewels, teammates with J2 from Trey Man Elite. So tune in on Thursday, 7 p.m., and you'll see my man Levy on here. And we out, y'all.